What is stopping you? Like, you feel shy, you feel hesitant, or you don't know how to learn grammar, how to improve vocabulary? Do tell me, and I have answer to almost all your questions. See, when you send me a DM, like DM is like direct message, I just got to know in Instagram language it's called direct message. When you send me DM asking how to improve English, certainly it is not possible to write that long text message, because it's my 8 years of learning and I cannot type it, right? Imagine you are with me in a classroom session and I'm just standing in front of you. You are sitting with me. Feel free to ask me anything. I need you to tell me first that what is stopping you to learn English? Are you not sure from where to begin? Do you find it difficult? Like, what should be the right point, or where should you start your journey to improve English? Please type yes in the comment section if that's the problem. Okay. See, the only problem is you guys are following an unstructured method. Whatever you are learning, it shows no relevance to what you speak. You cannot connect the dots, right? You're learning everything, like you're following my page in a similar fashion, like you're following some different pages as well. But the only problem is, even after learning so much, you feel lost that whatever I have learned, I cannot speak even a single sentence. Does it happen? You gotta admit, right? You're putting a lot of efforts, but still you see no results. Then here the question arises that if this approach is not going to work, then what is that's gonna bring results? What I'm gonna do that's gonna help me to master English communication? See, there are 3 areas you need to work upon. Number 1, grammar. When you learn, so how do you learn grammar, right? You just go through some rules there. After that, you're like, okay, I know how simple present tense works, but are you able to link it with your everyday English? Are you making sentences around that? Tell me, which tense did you learn? Any tense you have learned, or modal verb, or passive voice, or conditionals. The only loophole, the only problem is that whatever you are learning, you are not analyzing that in which situation this particular tense or this modal verb is going to be used. So let's say I teach you this modal verb should. Okay, you use should to take suggestions, like which phone should I buy, where should I go, how should I do it, what should I say to him. So I don't want you to emphasize much on rules. Rather, you get to the root and understand its usage in the language. You need to understand that how should is going to be used in everyday English. Could you give me a few sentences? Take few suggestions, like even if you say, how should I improve on vocabulary? How should I improve on grammar? How should I prepare for an interview? What you're doing, you're just using should here. Do you know where we use should have? The motive here is not to teach you a couple of grammar patterns. I'm just telling you what should be the right approach to learn grammar. Should have you used to talk about past mistakes. Should modal verb you used in the present time, and when it is followed by have plus past participle, which means third form of verb, it's gonna take the situation in the past. Like I say, I should have come to meet you. I should not have said that. मतलब मुझे ऐसा नहीं कहना चाहिए था, मुझे उससे मिलना चाहिए था. I should have met him. मेरे को ये फ़ोन नहीं लेना चाहिए था. Could you translate this? मुझे ये फ़ोन नहीं खरीदना चाहिए था. But अब आप फ़ोन, you have already bought the phone. You're just regretting over it that I shouldn't have bought this phone. So here what you're doing, you're adding fun to it. You are relating grammar to your everyday English. And this is the task. This is the fun, right? You learn can, could, would, should, whatever modal verb, active, passive, whatever tense you are learning. Your learning should not end only after learning the rules. You get to extend it a little bit, and you need to see how it's gonna be used in everyday English. Like, what sort of sentences could I frame out of it? So when I learn should have, I will be thinking of things which I think I shouldn't have done, or maybe I should have done. Like, I'm sorry, I should have called you. I'm sorry, I should have bought this phone. I should have been in UK to study English. You guys are giving perfect answers. So this is how learning English becomes fun. You guys had been asking for has been and have been, right? So if the action starts in the past and it's still going on. You use have been plus ing in the verb form. Like, I have been teaching English for 8 years. Don't be afraid of, oh, it's has been or it is have been. What is that crap? It's no crap, come on. It's as easy as ismr. Just don't be afraid that what is has been, have been, had been. You're just afraid because you lack knowledge. You don't know what does that mean. Has been, have been, like present perfect continuous tense. If the action starts in the past and it's still going on. Like you're waiting for your friend for 10 minutes. You could tell him, you know, I have been waiting for you for 10 minutes. Or you could say, I have been waiting for your call since morning. Or you could say, we have been together for 8 years. Amazing sentences, guys. Amazing. So here the motive is to tell you that when you learn grammar, learn to link it with your everyday English, and this is the key. Otherwise, grammar is going to screw you. You'll be like, grammar! This should not happen, okay? Grammar is interesting if you link it with what you speak. Now here comes the second point. How to improve English vocabulary. Grammar is one thing. You set a target for 15 days or 20 days. Set a target that, okay, in 20 days I'm gonna master grammar. Whether it is being, been, had been, whatever grammar structure it is, you must be able to understand how sentences are constructed around that. How can we use been? See, if I just limit myself answering your particular questions like grammar related thing, I think I'll not be able to cover, more interesting facts. So please excuse me for this. I shall keep making short videos for you to enlighten you on how grammar works. So tell me, how do you improve vocabulary? What should be the right approach to improve English vocabulary? See, I tried everything, right? I used to make my notes. I used to make a long list of English vocabulary words, writing down their meaning, and I tried everything, but nothing worked for me. At the end, I realized that, okay, instead of learning difficult words, how about if I learn some quick English sentences? Like sentences which helps me to put forward my ideas, which helps me to explain myself better. Google, okay, you guys are trying everything. Reading dictionary, but don't you feel like even despite learning a lot of words, you feel like what to speak? When it comes to speaking, are you able to use those words in speaking? Type yes or no. When you speak, are you able to use all those words in speaking? Every other person is going to tell you to read novels and newspapers, you watch English news channels, but the problem is, are these tips are really practical? Are they going to help you to sound better? No, right? Like when it comes to speaking, you end up saying something horrible or you just be quiet, or you say something, you translate English from your mother tongue to English. That's not English, that's Hinglish. That's a combination of your mother language and English, right? So here is the problem. When you learn difficult words, it's difficult to use them. So rather, how about if you're a basic learner or an advanced learner, I highly recommend you to learn some sort of standard sentences. You be it's interview preparation, it's your IELTS exam, it's everyday conversation. You need to decide your priorities, that in what kind of circumstances you need to speak English. If you are a parent, you're a mother or a father, I think preparing, if you're a mother, housewife, okay, you need to prepare your English to attend a parents-teacher meeting, or when you attend any social gathering, you need to learn how to introduce yourself gracefully to people, or how to ask them questions. If you are a working professional, you rather need to learn how to attend a meeting, how to explain yourself there, how to raise questions. Guys, I'll read your comments for sure, maybe after this. I have a lot to say. Just let me finish that off, okay? If you don't mind, I hope you won't. Now prepare some good English sentences which you could frequently use every day. If you are the one, you are an extrovert personality and you like to talk to strangers, you like to talk to people from all walks of life, you could rather prepare some sort of random or some ready-made English expressions which helps you to break the ice. Break the ice means that helps you to just start the conversation, to break that silence. You have something special to say which catches everyone's attention. If you try that, okay, I'm gonna learn everything, and once I'm prepared, then I'll speak. That day is never gonna come. Because it's not English, it's attitude that makes you different. So, what I mean to say here is that if you try that, okay, I must know all the words in the world and all the words in the dictionary and all the grammar structures and everything, and then I will start speaking, that day is never gonna come. It will be something like, I wanna learn driving. You give me what should I do? I have watched a lot of YouTube videos, okay, and I know what is what, how you start the car and everything. I have watched thousands of videos. Now tell me, should I go for a drive tomorrow alone by myself with no one's guidance? I've just watched videos and now I just want to experience my skills. If I go for driving, I'm gonna make a blunder. I'm either gonna hurt someone or myself, or I'll be behind the bars, not doing this live session. You know the answer. Even English is a practical skill. If you want to master it, you need to open your mouth and start speaking. So here, what I'm telling you is, be very specific. Just break this mental hindrance that I have to know everything. No, that's not the case. Just learn little and experiment it. Even I made this post a couple of days back. You guys could, mingle up. You could talk to different people there. You could talk to them. So I made this post that you may share your contact number and you can get in touch with other people. Now here, like let's say you get a number, okay, and you just want to talk to this person. Just prepare a few sentences in advance that you will say, hi, this is this, and I got your number there. I really want to have speaking practice with you. That's all. You need not to know everything just to get started. Okay, so number one, you need to learn the right way to practice grammar. Number two is the right approach to improve on your vocabulary. Before you learn advanced words, just prepare some ready-made English expressions. So here I have even made a list, and these are the sentences I would like to share with you. So let's say you're preparing for an interview. See it. So what I did, I just wrote some random words like problem solver, eager to learn, customer oriented, perform well under pressure, strong educational background, my salary expectation is in line with my qualification and education, attentive to details, I'm good at resolving problems, and something like that. So I made these notes here. Yeah, must be funny, but this is like you grow. Even if you're preparing for an interview, please pay close attention to what I'm gonna say. Just write down all the words, the vocabulary words. After that, think what you're gonna speak. Write down all the questions you might be asked during an interview. Write down all those questions, think of their possible answers, and just have a role play practice. You have both the ends. First time you say, okay, tell me something about yourself, and then you give your answer. Because you already have the vocabulary words and some sort of sentences, now you need to add your real-time achievements there to make it perfect. It's called specific vocabulary or filtered vocabulary. Just start speaking. Don't wait for the perfection. Your version 1 is better than version 0. It's good that you speak. Okay, see, I really want to read your comments, but maybe I'll be reading them after I finish off this live session. Now here, let's talk about third area, and it is voice modulation and intonation. Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna train your voice. When you speak English, it sounds acceptable and you sound, wow, this English is too good. So you're creating an illusion that your English is so good, though it is not, right? Like you just know a couple of English sentences, but you need to create that illusion. English is a rhythmic language. It has rise and fall of the pitch. Not all the words can be equally stressed. If a foreigner speaks Hindi, how is gonna speak that? He'll say, "Mujhe Bharat acha laga," and this is how you speak English. You say, "I want to meet Mr. Jack or Mr. Smith or anyone. I want to speak." You are giving a lot of attention to every word. This is a problem. See, if you stress every word, it's not gonna sound melodious. Your English will sound raw. So you need to learn the stress pattern. When you speak English, not all the words could be equally stressed. Few words like helping verbs, they are be squeezed out. you cannot give equal attention to all the words. It depends that what importance these words hold in a language. Like if I want to tell you that why did you do that, why did you do that, it's like, why did you do that, why did you do that. It is called sound reduction. What it is called? Sound reduction. Type it. What it is called? It's called sound reduction. And when you speak English, there are few words, their pronunciation is suppressed, or it is not given much importance. They are to be squeezed out. You don't speak them completely. You don't say, what is your name? Say, what's your name? Right? I will meet you tomorrow. I and will. You're gonna merge them together. Count them as one unit. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. What time should I call you? If you're speaking English like that, before you go on improving on your vocabulary and grammar, you gotta train your voice. You gotta work on voice tonality. So when you speak English, it sounds flawless. Say, it sounds flawless. It sounds flawless. That's called sound reduction. Amazing. I'm glad that you guys are all ears and learning it so well. So there are, just to cut it short, there are 3 areas I need you to work upon. Whatever grammar you learn, don't just limit yourself to the rules. Please make a lot of sentences around that. That's one thing. Second, when you're learning, instead of learning English individual words, you learn English sentences, which helps you to convey your message in one go, because this is going to be a stepping stone. You will be able to gain confidence through this, and once you gain confidence, I think you will have courage to speak in different situations, right? So don't just wait that I must know everything to start my journey of speaking English. Learn less, but start speaking it. It's a practical skill. Unless you speak it, no use of learning a lot of words. Number 3, you're gonna change the way you speak, right? If you don't speak in a natural manner, it's gonna create problems. People would, even if you know, let's say, if you have learned 1 lakh words and you speak like, I know so many words. So when you write, there is, a gap in between words. But when you speak, that gap is eradicated, that gap is removed. These 2 words are going to be combined together. They're gonna be spoken together. Like, I know a lot of words. A lot of, kya ban gaya? A lot of, how you're gonna write it? A lot of. I know a lot of words, but still, I'm not able to speak. I am not able to speak. I'm not able to speak. So whatever you learn, whether it's grammar or sentences, make sure you practice reading. Read it aloud out. So when you speak, it sounds natural. So that's all about it, guys. And rest, see. Communication works for those who work at it. If you are passionate about improving your spoken English, trust me, there is no force which could stop you. No one.